Hi good people, welcome back to Pamba Arnolda. You know where we're getting you the best of the best vlogs, good people. We're taking you guys with us to the world, one vlog at a time. If you're new to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and join us on this side of the good people. As you can see right behind me, this is my kitchen garden that I've been preparing for a while now for new crop plantations because it's a rainy season. It's a short rain season, very short. We can't quite depend on it much. But as I mentioned, I was going to get the what are they called, the vegetables from the market, the seeds, that is the traditional ones, not the sukuma wiki, the push the weak one, the kales, which is very common here in Kenya, but I wanted the traditional one before because I prefer those ones. I remember growing up, my dad used to really love those and prefer those, making my mom prefer cooking those compared to the kales. My sister is behind the camera, she's smiling at me, and I have to smile, but I think because she remembers that. And you see, in a traditional African society, like in a typical African home, they usually loved to prepare like a whole lot of it and mix even 4 types of the traditional vegetables and then add milk, the sour milk, add it, and then it stays for days. And then I remember when they cook something nice, like let's say maybe like chapatis, because chapatis were only for Christmas in December. They make chapatis and the vegetable is not finished, they discourage you from eating the chapati until the other vegetable is completed. They'll be like, no one is touching the chapatis until we finish the vegetables, because we'd not prefer eating the vegetables. But having grown up, I now appreciate my parents having made us learn that those were healthy meals that we were refusing, wanting to just eat wheat, which is just prepared with oil and everything, because vegetables are very key, like an apple a day keeping the doctor away kind of thing. Vegetables keep you healthy, that's why I prefer those. And having this land, I really appreciate that even though I'm in Nairobi, I get to have a small kitchen garden like this. It's not so big, but it's enough to just plant around 3-4 crops, but I've gotten here 3. I wanted to first try with this and then see if I'd have more space, but I doubt, because I've planted here before. I've planted this one, the very one. This is called the Ethiopian kale. I think the other name is Nzoia green. It's superior and reliable. It's written here vegetable seeds. Vegetable seeds in Swahili it's called mbegu. I don't know, maybe these are other languages. Sementes, graines, semiles. Wow. It's just 25 grams. It's written here, the warning is that you have to store it in a cool, dry place. It says, it has a warning, store in a cool, dry place, and it says that these seeds are treated with chemicals and are unsuitable for human and animal consumption. They must be stored in the original packaging. Of course, I will put it in the original packaging. So do not store close to foodstuffs or animal feeds. You keep out of reach of children. We don't have children, thank God. The warranty is that the utmost care has been exercised in producing and packaging these seeds. We warrant to the extent of the purchase price only. That's it. It has the same warning at the back of each and every other. I had shown you this one. This is the Ethiopian kale, which is also the Nzoia green. And then this is the giant nightshade, called managu in English. I think in the Kikuyu it's called mnavu. I think it's Kikuyu, but because I know it in Swahili is managu. And then the last one is this one, Amaranthus dubious. Wow, it has a nice ring to it, the dubious. I think these are lesser grams. I don't think this is 25 grams. Let me see. If this is 25 grams, maybe this is like 15 or 10 or thereabout. So I thought, actually, let me put this down. This is my hoe, good people. This is the hoe that I've gotten. I had borrowed one from the neighbor. You can see the neighboring land over there. They've also planted. Now that's the sukuma wiki, the kales. This Ethiopian kale is close to the sukuma wiki, but I think it's a bit softer. It's a bit soft. You can't compare it to the sukuma wiki, and then it grows. I don't think it can grow for long, and that I've planted these and the manago before. I actually just the three of them. I just distributed them here. That's the same thing we're going to do. I thought, let me put that down. I thought you'd just open up like this, but that's not the case. So I'll have to cut through. That's why I have these scissors, even though it's a bit crooked. Not crooked. I think it got spoiled. Let me just cut nicely so that I can be able to store the remaining, because I don't think I'll plant everything. So I want everything to go down. I don't think I'll be able to plant everything. So I'll just cut a tiny place. I think here is just to be able to access some seedlings. Voila, it's right there. Let me increase the spacing. I'll make sure I store them in a cool, dry place, away from children, as they've said. Right there. These are the seeds. I don't know if you guys can see them, but those are the seeds in there. That's how they look. I'll start with this one. Let me do this. I'm going to create a line to be able to put the seedling from, and I had already planted some here. I planted the pumpkin. That's why I marked with this stick over here. From here to this side, I planted pumpkin. It hasn't rained yet. I'd thought it would rain yesterday, but it hasn't. Hopefully it rains today. I think this is just some weed. Let me first put on my shoes nicely. Oops, it has stones. Let's do this. Wow. Oh my God. And the land is well prepared. We prepared it with my sister the other day, and I took some, because that's the rabbit, sort of like a rabbit farm. There's the manure, the rabbit waste. I poured some of it across the farm just for manure, and that's like the best fertilizer ever, the animal fertilizer. That's like the best. Let me start doing this. How do we go? This way or that way? This way. Let's start here. I'm starting with this one. I think it's my favorite. Then the manago, the Ethiopian kale. Ethiopia is something else. It's a country that is doing well as an African continent. I think the GDP per capita of Ethiopia is far much better than ours. They're up on the map. They've placed themselves up higher. I think there's Ethiopia, there's Morocco as well. There's Morocco, Algeria, Egypt. Nigeria. Which one else?
Egypt.
And Egypt. Those are the best African countries, of course followed by Kenya. But he really respect Ethiopia. I watched a certain YouTuber doing the SGR, the standard gauge railway. Theirs is electric. Is ours electric? No, it's not, right? Ours is not electric, but the Ethiopians, they are doing well. Let's do this. Just going to create, not only this work. Hold for me this. Just a tiny line. That's what will depend on what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to remove any weed that I get along the way. Put it there, discard it later. Let's do this. It's long. Wow. How is that? Looking good. And my sister was playing on my head yesterday. Look at what she did. I didn't go to the salon. She just took the braids I'd gotten and then was like, let's try this. So that's the nurse come, what are they called? Salonists. Yeah, the nurse come salonist. This is how they look like. Look at that. They have a nice color. Are they colored like this or they come out like this? No smell. Just place a little bit along the line. That one went too much. Like that. I know there's usually, of course, there's many ways to kill a rat. I'd have started with maybe like making a seed bed. Prepare a seed bed. Then after that, I'll transplant. But we don't have much time. It's short rain season. I want to be able to eat this next week. I'm kidding, but let's say maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't have time to start waiting for the seed bed and then transplanting with the short rain season. This is what I've gone by. It will be a lot, so I'll have to be pruning out. Not really pruning, but uprooting while it's grown, because there'll be a lot. You can see I'm just dropping the seeds, so it will be a lot. I'll be uprooting. Right here. That's it. That's the first line of the Ethiopian. Place it nicely. A place where it can't fall. And then cover up just a little bit. I might cover with my hands. I think that's it. I don't want to cover it too much. I want it to have ease of access to start shooting as soon as possible. And there's a lot of stones. I cover it with stones. You don't have a way to come out. Just covering up. That's it. First line is done. There you go. First line down. Let's go to the second one. A bit of tomatoes here. I don't know how to go about these. There's 2 tomatoes here because I'd have preferred to make the second line here. Let me just, when I get to the tomato, I stop right there. Then I continue making the second line. There's another tomato here. There's another tomato. I'm just giving it some spacing. That's the agricultural techniques that I have this spacing right here. The land, I've done it nicely. It has manure, nicely prepared. And the spacing of the vegetables right here. I hope it rains tonight. Or even like in the afternoon. I don't mind because it's morning now. It's early morning. I'm just like, fingers crossed it rains tonight. Do you enjoy being hot? Wow. I'm singing for the plants. It encourages them to grow.
A breakup song.
That's not a breakup song. It's a warning song. Open your eyes song. Open your eyes. You enjoy being hot. I know you smell the perfume on his shirt and the makeup. Let me do this. I mix Ethiopian kale, Amaranthus dubious. Then I put the giant nightshade, the managu, on the third line. That like that. It's easier when I'm also harvesting. I harvest in that line. Let's see how the Amaranthus dubious looks. I've placed it so black. And the color inside, it has like a pink color. Woo! Wow. Look at that. It's so black. Like I can lick it. Let's plant it. So this is the Amaranthus. I think we call it Chimboka. Chimboka in Luya, that is. Drop it nicely. It's going a lot of it because it's very small. It's slipping through my hands. Wow. It's too tiny. It's finished. I think it's going a lot. But I want to plant more of these. I prefer planting more of the other 2. I prefer planting the managu and the Ethiopian kale more than these other ones. I think these I'll only plant like 2 lines, that's it. Because it has a tendency of growing all over the place. I'm covering up. This land has a lot of stones. I don't know how to help with that. Good people, if you have any ideas, because hand picking is something else. It's a lot. Hand picking is a lot of work. Maybe like I hire a couple of people. We'll be here like 10 people and start picking the stones.
If only we had a magnet for stones.
By the way, that will help. You can imagine just passing the magnet like this. It attracts all the stones. This land has a lot of stones, and I don't think like the others. I can see that one as well. It will really help. Because now if I cover it like this and the stones cover up the seeds, you can imagine how will the seeds sprout through the stones. Like here, these 2. They're usually work songs. I'm trying to look for a work song to sing as I do the planting. Do you know of any work song?
No.
Should be singing. We were taught that in school. In the African Traditional Society, the ATS, they used to be farmers and their work songs, blacksmiths, their work songs, just singing to motivate you through. How is this spacing? I think it's good enough. Right?
Yes.
Let me do now this one for the managu right here. And then more of the Ethiopian kale and the managu as we go along, because those are the 2 that I prefer the most. To these Amaranthus dubious. Right there. I've gotten one work. Can I sing it for you?
Yes, please.
Can I? It's a nice work versus dodge. Can you guess which one it is?
No, just don't sing it. I already know what you want to sing.
I've gotten myself a work song, but it also sounds like a dodge song.
No, don't sing it.
It goes like this.
No, shush.
Come on. I want to encourage myself as I plant the giant nightshade.
Not with that song.
It's a good one, by the way. Good people, you like it. You'll tell me. We are done with the scissors. It can stay there. Wow. This one looks like Sim Sim. This is how it looks because there are two types. There's usually this one of the larger leaves like this, and then there's one with tiny leaves and it has a lot of stems. I don't prefer that one. That's why I went to the agrovet and I was really insisting on this one, the ones with the bigger leaves. It's sweeter even and much more easier to plant, harvest and prepare. This is how it looks like. Let me show you. It feels like it can go away with the wind. I have to be very meticulous. This is how it looks like Sim Sim seeds. Look at that. I have to be very cautious. I think this is enough for that one line. Because I think how many lines can fit? They're around 15 or so. I've already done 3. Let's do this. My work song goes like this to encourage me through.
You can just sing it in your head.
No, not in my head. I want the good people to hear it too. Wanderlust that is gone.
Oh.
What? Sing me. All that was.
Are you going to sing or are you going to plant?
All that was me. My sister is really criticizing my song. Ha! They say familiarity breeds contempt. She thinks that I cannot sing and she dislikes the song. I don't know why. But I got it from the Outlander series that I've been watching. I'm done with it. I finished last night. It's a nice song. I think the lady is described as a lass, then the gentleman is described as a lad. That's the English that was spoken back then. Then I remember that when you want to say no, you say can. Like when you want to say I don't know how to plant this, so you just say I don't know can how to plant that. It's a nice version of the English. It entertained me. Let's go. Sing. Wow. There are a lot of stones. I think it will just... I'll have to sacrifice and have time to pick out these stones. Oh, that was good. Now, before I continue, I wanted to show you something that my neighbor taught me. Come. Joanne, come. I want to show you something. Because usually when the vegetables are all grown, there's usually infestation of what are they called? Not ticks. It's not a dog. What's they called? Just some insects. Insects that go and feast on the leaves like this. Like here, you can see there is a bit of holes. So insects will come and start feasting on the leaves of the kales. Now this is the skuma wiki. The other Ethiopian kale almost looks like this, but it's softer and more yummy. My neighbor told me that while these rabbits, he collects the urine from these rabbits through some, I think he put something here. He collects that urine and then sells it. The urine is good to just pour on top of the leaves like this. When the insect starts to infest, he puts the rabbit's urine all over the kale, and then it helps to kill the insects. Here's how he does it. Right here. Wow. This is how it's looking like. Looks like thick juice. Wow. Like sugarcane juice or something. I think he even put it right here. This is it. Then he sells it. He told me that yesterday he had sold like around 20 liters of the rabbit urine. Most people treasure it and they know the secret to killing the insect infestation with it. So I don't have to worry about my vegetables. When the insect starts sprouting up, I'll just come here and buy from here. Yes, at a very affordable fee. This is it. He's still collecting. Let me just put it back. I think he's made something like a tunnel, like a funnel to collect it through the timber right there. It goes like that and then goes into the... Wow. So let me just finish up this, plant more lines right here. I think this is where I had reached. This is it. This is the third line. I'll just finish up with these, good people. I don't want to keep you for the entire planting time, but I'll show you the progress once it starts to shoot and sprout out. I'll make sure I show you the progress of how it goes. Let me keep up with this. You make the fourth line.